So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes photorealistic graphics coming to a major PlayStation 5 first-party exclusive title, the end of scalpers for PlayStation 5, native 4K 60, not dynamic or upscaled, native 4K 60 is happening with an upcoming PlayStation 5 game very soon, and news on what's next after God of War Ragnarok. First, yes or no, do you think we'll see Spider-Man 2 gameplay this year or not? The year is almost out, but that doesn't mean we can't get something from still. In the past, Sony's had their own event in early December with the PlayStation Experience, and if not, they had presence at the Game Awards, which also takes place in early December. I'm hopeful we'll still get something for Spider-Man 2, but of course, that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below, yes or no, do you think we'll see Spider-Man 2 gameplay this year or not? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, end of scalpers. Reading from PlayStation Universe, according to a report published by bot detection outfit Netacea, scalper bots are finally beginning to lose interest in PlayStation 5 as the console passes its second anniversary this month. The quarterly index from Netacea reveals the top 5 products that scalper bots have targeted during the third quarter of this year, and PlayStation 5 is no longer occupying the spot in the top 3. Instead, it slipped to 4, so it's still being targeted a bit, not quite as much as before. The Netacea's site stated this on the matter: "This is the first time the PlayStation 5 has not made the top 3 in our index, a reflection of the slight reduction in bots targeting the console due to stock increases. However, its resale value has remained stable with only a 2% drop since last quarter." So the thing that was also interesting about this list from this analytics site is that the Xbox Series X isn't even in the top 5. PlayStation 5 dropped from the top 3 to just 4, one level down, but the Series X isn't even on the list. So it seems like the interest clearly is much higher for the PlayStation 5 compared to the Series X when it comes to scalpers, who obviously base what they try to go after on what consumers want. Regardless, hopefully their interest for the PlayStation 5 goes down even further so more fans can pick up a PlayStation 5 more easily. Now, diving into the second story of the video, what's next after God of War Ragnarok from Sony Santa Monica. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, following the release of God of War Ragnarok, Sony Santa Monica Studio appears to be working on various projects. Studio creative director Cory Barlog, who helmed 2018's God of War reboot, told the LA Times that the Sony Studio is currently spread out on a lot of different things, but declined to offer specifics. Obviously, he's not going to tell you guys what he's working on. So we know that Cory Barlog has been working on something outside of God of War Ragnarok. This was confirmed by him earlier this year when we found out he's not actually directing God of War Ragnarok. It's actually Eric Williams. We know about the canceled sci-fi title that was in the works prior to God of War 2018 happening. We've seen Cory Barlog tease sci-fi related things on Twitter for a while now. It comes and goes, so it seems like that's where he might be going next. We don't know exactly, but that's what it seems like. The thing that's interesting is that Cory Barlog stated back in October that the project he's been working on has been in the works for many years already. He was asked by a fan back then about gaming development and how long it takes to move from conception to actually working on the game, and he replied with, "A year or two, depends. My current thing has been many years." So that's what he's been working on, and if it's been many years, I assume we'd hear something next year probably about this project, which is exciting. If it is a sci-fi related project that's outside of God of War, it's a new IP. That sounds very interesting. This leaves the God of War Ragnarok team to work on something else. But again, Cory said the team is spread out on a lot of different things. So this could mean there's multiple games coming out from them besides just what the God of War Ragnarok team is working on next, or Cory Barlog's team and what they have working and coming out next. I wouldn't mind some smaller titles like Journey, like they did back in the day, alongside their other big titles. It would also be very interesting if they were working on something PlayStation VR 2 related, a small project, maybe trying to bring a VR mode to God of War. That's just me throwing that out there, hopeful thinking, wishful thinking. That's actually the phrase. But you guys let me know if you want more God of War from Sony or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, photorealistic graphics. Reading from Push Square, looks like Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has recast the role of Harry Osborn, with star Scott Porter revealing he will not return for the sequel in a now deleted tweet. Porter, who also plays Heimdall to perfection in God of War Ragnarok, alluded to the fact that the developer Insomniac Games has decided to go photo real with its casting in the hotly anticipated PS5 successor, and the difference between me and Harry's ages was too much to overcome, I believe. It's a particularly interesting comment, as during the transition from Marvel's Spider-Man to Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, Insomniac Games controversially changed the face of Peter Parker to better match voice actor Yuri Lowenthal's performance capture. So I personally don't think this actor change will be as noticeable for many as Peter Parker was, obviously, but it definitely sucks for the actor to lose the position. On a more positive note, the photo real part is really interesting. They're going for photorealistic visuals for Spider-Man 2. Again, when I read this reminded me of when we heard that Spider-Man 2 was exceeding expectations, and that an employee at Marvel saw gameplay and they thought they were watching a cutscene, not actual gameplay. So these two seem to line up in terms of what type of visuals we might get from Spider-Man 2. One thing I know that will be happening is Spider-Man 2's city will be compared to the Matrix demo we got last year, and I think Insomniac Games is set to blow us away as usual. And now diving into the final story of the video, native 4K 60 on PlayStation 5. So this was great news for me because of two things. One, it's for a game I'm getting, and two, you don't see many native 4K games running at 60 FPS on the current generation of consoles. Native 4K is usually aligned with 30 FPS or 40 FPS if you have a 120 Hz supported TV. Outside of that, most games use dynamic 4K, so it's going between 4K and a minimum resolution up and down depending on the situation, or it's upscaled 4K, so you'll have 1440p as the native internal resolution, and that's upscaled to 4K. Of course, in that situation, it's sometimes pretty good if you have something like FSR 2.0, which does the upscaling pretty well. But in terms of this situation right now, the game we're talking about is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Remastered, or Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. But the developers have stated multiple times that it's more than just a remaster. Final Fantasy VII, the official Twitter account, recently posted an image with the information on the performance options for the various platforms that the game is coming to, and one of them was, of course, PlayStation 5, which runs it at native 4K 60, not dynamic, not upscaled, native 4K 60. No performance mode is needed here. You're pretty much getting exactly what most people want. Usually we have performance modes so we can hit that 60 FPS level, but if we can already hit that when the resolution is at native 4K, then it's not really needed. The game drops on December 13th, so we're not far off, but you guys let me know if you're going to buy Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As always, helps and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is the body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with Bring On the Gameplay. I'm still hopeful we'll get Spider-Man 2 gameplay this year. If you are as well, destroy the comment section with Bring On the Gameplay, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.